I'm John Hendricks. It's Friday, June 26th. Today, cracking down.
Our focus is on holding traffickers accountable.
Why the Winnipeg police are targeting drug use in several neighborhoods. Also today, an unexpected layover. How a plane wound up on a Manitoba highway. Plus, renamed and revamped.
Kevin Walters Plaza is another piece of downtown's future.
Where a new park is opening in Winnipeg. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Mary Lee is away today. Winnipeg police are cracking down on open drug use in the city. There is now an increased law enforcement presence in several neighborhoods. It's part of a new initiative targeting drug trafficking and open drug use. Police say it's in response to multiple community concerns and public safety issues which were reported to them. Now, since launching the program on Wednesday, police say they've had 100 interactions with people using drugs in public spaces. The WPS has also made 25 arrests, with 2 specifically related to drug trafficking or possession, and 3 more have been taken to the Drug Detention Center.
We are not criminalizing addiction. Our focus is on holding traffickers accountable, addressing open drug use where it creates harm, and just as importantly, connecting individuals to support they need. That includes working with health services, outreach teams, and community partners who can help people access care and move toward recovery.
Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham says he's supportive of police efforts to crack down on open drug use and trafficking, and says they have a moral obligation to do this. But not everyone is in favor of the initiative. CTV's Jeff Keel will have more community reaction coming up later on CTV News at 6. A plane has made an emergency landing on a Manitoba highway. Last night, just after 7 p.m., police were alerted to a small aircraft in distress. The single-engine plane was carrying 4 people and was attempting to land on the road. The plane had departed from the PAW and was en route to Brandon. The pilot made the landing on Highway 45 near Sandy Lake. Police say the plane came to a stop in a ditch on the north side of the road. 1 person was taken to hospital with minor injuries. RCMP have not yet said what caused the emergency. Mounties say a 13-year-old boy is recovering after being shot multiple times on a northern First Nation. Officers responded to the shooting early this morning behind a building on Nissaishawak First Nation. That's about 850 kilometers north of Winnipeg. They found the boy with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to hospital and immediately underwent surgery. RCMP say he's in stable condition. Anyone with information is being asked to contact RCMP or Crime Stoppers. Tomorrow marks 1 year since Portage and Main officially reopened to pedestrian traffic. And despite concerns from some that the busy intersection would become a hazard for walkers and cyclists, well, that doesn't seem to have been the case. According to Manitoba Public Insurance, there have not been any collisions involving cyclists or pedestrians at the iconic intersection since it reopened. In fact, there has only been 1 crash, each involving a pedestrian and a cyclist in the past 5 years. Those happened in 2024 and 2023, respectively. There have been several dozen vehicle collisions, though, 96 so far this year and 152 in all of 2025. As Canada edges towards legislation meant to protect youth online, a new survey suggests that most teens in the country have encountered real violence or gore on the internet.
What we actually found was that 85% of young people had seen this content. And further, when we asked them about what types of content they were seeing within that category, much of what they talked about was really on the more severe side of what we expected to hear about.
1,007 youth that were surveyed, more than 7 in 10 had seen videos of physical fights. 65% had viewed police violence, and 52% watched someone being injured or killed in war. 10% reported seeing child sexual abuse material, and 1/3 had viewed mass or school shooting videos. And the survey results show the vast majority of respondents saw this disturbing content unintentionally.
Only 7% of respondents said that they had sought out this content. So in most cases, they're seeing it because a stranger posted it or because the algorithm is showing it to them. So they're just scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram Reels, seeing, probably some funny videos, some interesting videos, and then all of a sudden there's a video of someone dying in a car accident.
The study's lead author says they forwarded the results to major tech companies and the Canadian government, along with a list of recommendations. Exposure to graphic material was most common on YouTube, followed closely by TikTok and then Instagram. The results come from an online survey by Leger. Online surveys, though, cannot be assigned a margin of error because they do not randomly sample the population. Massage therapy has officially been designated as a regulated health profession here in Manitoba. The province made the declaration on June 16th. It also establishes the College of Massage Therapists of Manitoba for regulating the profession. The Massage Therapy Association of Manitoba praised the move in an online statement, calling it the realization of a goal that has been pursued for decades. The association says further details around registration requirements and timelines are expected in the coming months. Well, once considered a bargain, more and more Manitobans now view our housing prices as unreasonably high. New data from the Angus Reid Institute finds 7 in 10 Canadians say the price to buy a home in their neighborhood is high, a stark contrast to a decade ago. In Manitoba, 67% of respondents say prices are understandably or unreasonably high, a jump of 21% from 2016. Winnipeg saw a 23% increase. Now, over the past decade, the average house price in Winnipeg grew by 57%, from $273,000 to $427,000. The online survey of 4,200 Canadians was conducted between June 4th and 10th and has a margin of error plus or minus 2 percentage points 19 times out of 20. The NHL entry draft is underway. Along with picking up a new rookie, the Winnipeg Jets could be saying goodbye to a veteran.
As an organization, you're incumbent. It's incumbent upon me to listen, and that's kind of what I've done up until this point.
Speaking with the media ahead of tonight's draft, Jets general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff would not confirm or deny whether goalie Connor Hellebuyck had requested a trade. It's a rumor, though, that's been increasing over the past couple of weeks. At the end of the season, Hellebuyck had expressed frustration at the past year and the team's inability to get into the playoffs. Cheveldayoff says he must think of the entire organization when making decisions such as trading the Vezina winner.
I think, again, that would be, fair to say in the sense that, if you can fill some holes in other areas and do things a little bit differently, then I think you can try to find a way. But if if those holes and those needs aren't met, then, again, that's part of the game.
Cheveldayoff noted the phone calls that he'd been receiving had yet to make him act on a trade. Hellebuyck is locked up for 5 more seasons with a cap hit of $8.5 million a year after he signed an extension in 2024. CTV weather specialist Colleen Brady joins us now with a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. And boy, it was a really nice day today.
But almost hit the repeat button, though. Yes, it was nice today, just like it was nice throughout the day yesterday. But now we're into this again. Now that we're into the height of the daytime heating and the instability and the humidity, we have these thunderstorms scattered across southern Manitoba and east into northwestern Ontario. But things will be changing, and not for the better. The instability will be growing, and as we get to late tonight and through the weekend, there is the possibility not just of a lot of rain in parts of southern Manitoba, but thunderstorms that could become severe, and that could last into next week. So we'll look at that, and we'll actually look ahead toward conditions for Canada Day too. But for now, let's take a look through the Canada Live Eye, the CTV Live Eye. It is brought to you by Bathfit, our exclusive home of the PermaFit solution in Winnipeg right now. It is a lovely 26 degrees with a humid X. It feels like 28. South winds at 19 kilometers an hour, gusting to 32. Pressure's dropping and the humidity is 41%. Out on the roads on this Friday afternoon, a live look at Notre Dame Avenue. Traffic moving well there.
Get ready to dig a little deeper. Why some of your favorite Apple products will cost you more. Coming up. Looking at the markets now, crude oil lost $2.69. The loonie closed higher at 70.49 cents U.S. Gold futures added over $48. The TSX gained 129 points. The Dow Jones slipped 44, and the Nasdaq fell 61 points. A crash between a gravel truck and an ATV has left a 19-year-old dead in the RM of Brokenhead. Police say the collision took place when an ATV heading east on Road 71 North was hit by a gravel truck heading north on Provincial Road 302. The 19-year-old male driver of the ATV was pronounced dead at the scene. The 60-year-old man from Steinbach who was driving the truck was uninjured. Police are investigating. Winnipeg Park has officially been renamed and revamped. The area formerly known as Odeon Park is now Kevin Walters Plaza. It combines the area adjacent to the Burton Cummings Theatre with the former park. The plaza is now named after Kevin Walters, who was a well-known champion of live music and entertainment in Winnipeg. He played a role in bringing a number of festivals and award shows to the city, including the 2006 Grey Cup Festival, the Canadian Country Music Awards, and the Juno Awards. And it's a fitting tribute as it will serve as a public gathering space for future concerts and cultural events.
Kevin Walters Plaza is another piece of downtown's future. The space will welcome people before concerts, festivals, and events like the Burt Block Party. And it will help showcase everything that makes Winnipeg such a vibrant, creative city that Kevin helped to build.
The $1.25 million project also features a public art installation by artist Frederick Spence. Prices on some Apple products are on the rise thanks to an AI-fueled demand for memory chips. Apple laptops and iPad product lines are all among the products that are expected to see a spike in prices, some by as much as $200. The company said the growing expansion of AI data centers has led to a surge in demand for memory and storage. The increases have taken effect, and as a result, Apple's stock price fell 6%. Products spared from the price hike so far include iPhones, Apple Watches, and iPods. A Winnipeg band is set to headline a big hometown show. Those danceable details coming up next in Spotlight. Colleen Brady has your Spotlight today. And Colleen, there is no shortage of interesting things to do in the province this weekend.
John, I think you can put up your feet on the desk for a minute because it's going to take me a minute to tell you about all that's going on. It's so much. We're starting off with the 17th annual Sakiwe Festival, which includes a pair of block parties and a series of performances. Connect with the Loveville Music Festival over at the Forks. Osborne Village hosts a free all-ages music festival. Dauphin, Killarney, and McGregor have their annual fairs. Travel down the river to learn about Winnipeg's hidden history of graffiti. That sounds cool. Brandon celebrates the 80th anniversary of its libraries. Ashern is hosting its Pride celebration. Enjoy a multicultural picnic in the park with the Philippine Heritage Council of Manitoba. Rock out to the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical Jesus Christ Superstar over at Rainbow Stage. You can find a full list of events this weekend on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
That was a lot. That's
There's a
good.
lot.
A lot of things to do, including this next one.
Yeah.
The day country music fans have been circling on their calendar. It's finally here.
We would be remiss if we missed this one, and we would never do that because it is Dauphin's Country Fest, and it is now officially underway. The festival actually kicked off last night with headliner J.J. Wild taking the stage, following performances from Ledwin and the Haleys. Other headliners this weekend include Jelly Roll, Nate Smith, and Tyler Hubbard. The festival runs until Sunday. Now, if you want to check it out, it's not too late. At last check, there were still some weekend passes available. Just head to countryfest.ca.
A rising Winnipeg alt-rock band is gearing up for a big hometown show this fall.
John, neighbor Andy is set to play the Burton Cummings Theatre. The Manitoba Group's music is influenced by an array of genres, including folk and funk. It's best known for songs like Courtney and Pacifica. The show kicks off October 24th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets go on sale July 3rd. That's next Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster.
Disney Plus and Hulu have released the trailer for the second coming of the King of the Hill reboot.
And spoiler alert, Bobby and Connie are officially a couple as Hank and Peggy continue to settle into retirement life in Arlen, Texas.
Like I always say, never leave home without your welder's kit.
He does always say that, but I still often forget.
The series returned for its 14th season last year after a 15-year hiatus. Season 15 debuts July 20th.
It seems like moviegoers are feeling playful.
Indeed. Toy Story 5 is expected to hold on to the top spot at the weekend box office.
Bonnie needs help from someone at least from the same century. So long, toys.
Deadline's box office forecast suggests the Disney Pixar sequel is on track for $90 million U.S. across North America in its second weekend. That will be more than enough to take the wind out of the sails of Supergirl, which is flying into a second-place debut with ticket sales between $40 to $50 million. Another new entry this weekend is Jackass, Best and Last, billed as a farewell to the slapstick gross-out comedy franchise.
I do want to see the new Toy Story movie, although I did not care for the last one, so hopefully this is good.
Well, I'm hearing good things.
So am I, so I'll let you know.
Okay, great. Report back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your Friday primetime lineup starts with a true crime documentary, Spring Break Murders. That's on at 7. Crime. My goodness, it's a Friday, John. Crime Scene Investigators comes next at 8. Boston Blue wraps things up at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look at Portage Avenue, east and westbound in front of Polo Park. Traffic moving smoothly there. Warm out there, 26 degrees, a little windy too with those south winds picking up. I'll have a look at your weekend forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, over the last day or two, the temperatures have been rising, the humidity has been rising, and so has the instability. And that will be the trigger likely for severe thunderstorms, at least at one point or another over the course of this weekend in southern Manitoba. An awful lot of rain is expected to come in places that absolutely don't need it. The Parkland region could see another substantial dumping of rainfall, more so as we get later on into Saturday, overnight into Sunday. And that ground in a lot of places in that neck of the woods, as you well know if you're out there, pretty saturated. So that could wreak even more havoc, unfortunately. Speaking of which, I mean, I wouldn't say havoc, that might be a little bit much, but there are thunderstorms that look like they're firing off in the area. They are non-severe. So I'll take a zoom in. But if you look closely, you see these little icons that pop up. They move quickly, but that suggests that some of those areas where you see that happening is where rain is falling quite substantially, particularly when you see that green flip over to the yellows and the oranges. Those areas are getting a bit of a soaking. Not right now here in Winnipeg, although we are not outside of the realm of possibility that we could see a thunderstorm here. There's a risk. I know I've been saying the same thing night after night for the last few, but it is still possible. As we get further east into northwestern Ontario, you can see much the same. Very similar conditions and non-severe thunderstorms scattered around that part of Ontario. But as we go through the next few hours, it's the instability that's going to get particularly, well, unstable, I guess is the best way to put it. And as we get into the overnight hours and throughout the day on Saturday, that's when we'll start to see the risk of severe storms develop. Exactly where, it's a little unclear. It does look like we could well see severe thunderstorms, not quite this early, but as we get more so into the day on Saturday in southern Manitoba, it's a little hard at this point out to pinpoint exactly where and who's going to get how much. But early forecast models suggest, again, the Parkland region could get quite a lot, although that's not really reflected so much on the Futurecast right now, but areas further south certainly could see a lot of rain, at least if the Futurecast has its way. And again, this is what I mean. When you see the yellows and the oranges there, that's an awful lot of rain. That's midnight Saturday night over the Red River Valley, including Winnipeg, right into Sunday morning. Meanwhile, you see the sun shining for the northern half of the province for much of the weekend. That rain is not going to let up. The showers, the rain, and potential thunderstorms will take us into next week. I'll show you that in a moment. 16 are low tonight in Winnipeg with a low chance of showers here with the risk of a thunderstorm. Southeast winds at 20 kilometers an hour. Those winds will strengthen tomorrow afternoon. 23 is the high. Cloudy in the morning. It looks like the showers will start to move in the afternoon with the potential for thunderstorms. The UV index for Saturday for the city is 3 or moderate. And here's a look at the long range forecast. So showers and quite likely thunderstorms to take us into Sunday, 25 degrees. More of the same on Monday. Rain, showers, and thunderstorms all in the mix, 25 there. We could see some sun by Tuesday, although this is the wild card day. The forecast models are a little all over the place, so there is a chance of showers. But look at Canada Day, sunny and hot, right up there in the upper 20s. Let's take a look at our first weather photo. A beautiful look at a double rainbow that formed over East St. Paul. That photo was taken by Brian. A lovely shot there, as is this next one. Adeline was out at Grand Beach. There were no crowds. Enjoyed the day in that beautiful sky overhead and those wispy cirrus clouds. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Skywatch Weather Pick of the Day brought to you by Provivo, Winnipeg's first and only longevity medicine clinic. Redefining health, performance, and aesthetics. Provivo.com.
This little kid has the perfect name.
So they named this little guy Messi, so that's why he has the Argentinian jersey on right now.
As Argentina makes Kansas City their base camp for the World Cup, a local goat has been named after the soccer superstar, Messi. Many people think that Messi is the greatest of all time, also known as the GOAT, making the name quite fitting. But is Messi that cute? That's the real question.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, huh?
That goat's the goat.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
We will be back again at 6. Hope to see you then.